will go over the study calendar and explain what that's for, but you will also receive another explanation for setting target dates on that calendar. So this is a sample wall calendar, and obviously you can see that I used one of those, I don't even know what size calendar it is, that has the spirals. This is actually, if you look under that Thursday, you see it's July 4th. This is just a sample, and it's the only calendar I had that didn't have anything else marked on it for that month. And I'll explain later on what everything else means, but the one thing that you want to do first is to mark out with an X if you know you're going to be going out of town or if there's something special going on. So in black, I put an X if I was going out of town or for that convention that is on the 20th through 22nd. The 22nd is actually a school day, but I know that I'm going to be doing something else where I cannot count on those days to get any of my work done or to do any studying, because I'm going to be honest with myself. And maybe if I am going to Florida with a member of my family that is going to expect me to do some homework, then they'll understand. But if I'm going with my friends, like at the convention, I'm not going to be doing any homework, and I need to be honest so I know. So go ahead and mark those days out, whether they're school days or not, if they are days that you know you can't do any work. On the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th, I have yellow on each of those dates, and that yellow is actually part of my code for a foreign language. I'm only going to use yellow when I have something due for my foreign language class, and every Monday, not the first apparently, but on the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th, I know I have to do an oral recording or an oral presentation in my foreign language class. Since I know I'm going to be out of town on the 22nd, I'm going to have to meet with my teacher and tell her in advance I'm going to be out of town, and see if I can either do it on the 19th or if I can do it on the 23rd. When is it convenient for that teacher and for me that I can make up that one assignment? You can see in the red where I have, the red stands for reading. And I think that's a really easy thing because yesterday I read a book, therefore the color red, even though it's spelled differently. And the RP on the 10th stands for reading project. The TD, also in red, on the 8th, stands for target date. And since it's in red, I know it's for reading. And I want to pick 2 days before, maybe 3 days before an assignment is due as my target date, so that if something comes up or if I need extra time, I've already built in my wiggle room. I want to have every detail for that reading project done by the end of the day on the 8th. So the only thing I have to do on the 9th would be finishing touches, or if something came up and I end up using it, at least I built in that wiggle room. On the 17th and 19th, blue. On the 19th it says GT. That's because there's a geography test, and I like to use blue for geography because the world is a huge percentage of water, which is, in the best of all circumstances, blue. So I go ahead and circle on the 19th geography test, and then 2 days before that, the target date. Hopefully I'm going to have already learned everything that there is to learn for that geography test. So the only thing I need to do on the 18th is review. On the 23rd and 25th, I used green, and that's because of science. And science is tied to being green with ecology and taking care of our planet. So that's why I use green for science. The science fair, and then the target date 2 days before is the 23rd. I want every single thing to be done. Well, since I know just at a glance that I am going to the convention on the 20th, the 21st, and 22nd, I actually have to have pretty much of everything done for my science by the time I leave on the 19th or before I leave on the 20th for that science fair, because my target date's on the 23rd. But because I have already X'd out anything special, unusual, then I know I have a black square around the 11th, the 18th, and the 1st of the next month. And that's because I know that I play soccer, and that's when games are. The 18th is the last game, and then I already know we have a playoff game on the 1st, so I've gone ahead and marked that. So you need to know if you have something unusual that is going to take you beyond the school day. So you don't need to mark a dentist appointment, but you do need to mark if you have any big test, any big project, anytime you're going out of town, anything like that convention. Maybe that's an in-town convention, but it's still going to take 3 days that I'm not going to have access, or I know realistically I'm not going to be spending any of my time to complete any assignments. And so I have that, whether it's a giant wall calendar or if it's just a calendar this big that nothing else is written on. This is for my schedule. Maybe I'll put, if it's my parents' birthday or somebody else's birthday, so I want to remember to get something. But aside from that, this is not for little things. And it's not for something that's due the next day or just in 2 days. It's for something where the assignment is due a good 4 days or more from the assignment. If it's due the next week or beyond, it needs to go on this calendar so you know when you really need to buckle down. Anything else about the calendar, I'll get back to it later.